Shalom. All praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakaha Kodash. Double honors to the elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations to the elect, all the brothers who's pushing this work in sincerity and in truth. This is brother Thamayam from GMS Toronto, coming at you with another video. So it seems that we are in here, this great Babylon, living in the belly of the beast. You know, our children have become degenerates. They have become hard-headed due to the fact that we as a people have lost our heritage, right? For the most part, because of the elect, they already gotten it, and the rest of the elect will be sealed. But for the rest of our people, the 2/3, they have been lost in the sauce, right? Our children have become wild bulls, right? But before I bring those scriptures out, there's a woman here who's begging the cops, right, to don't bring her son home every time they lock him up, his 17-year-old son, so he's so-called underage, right? Right? Don't bring him home. Lock him up. Keep him locked up. That's the only way he'll learn. But if we had our ancient laws and ancient customs, like the book of Jeremiah, I think the 6 and 16, tells you walk in the old way, the old paths, because the old paths, that's where the law is, right? The second covenant will be the law in our hearts. So the law is still in effect, right? If we had our old laws, guess what would happen? This kid would have been, not a kid, this young man, right, that's unruly would have been put to death. But I'll get that in a little bit. It says here, watch, fed up mom, right, an Israelite woman, begs cops to stop sending son home after she turns him for a car theft. Lock him up. Do something, right? Obviously, she didn't do what she was supposed to do, right? And that's how you know when a young man becomes a certain age, a woman is no longer needed, right? You hear me? You mothers are no longer needed after a young boy turns to 12, 13, 14 years old. That's where the man steps in, right? Because your job is to bend the tree while he is young, right? Or conquer the son. Whoop his ass. That's where the father comes in, right? I'm gonna get some of those scriptures too. A mom in Columbus, Ohio, is frustrated with how the criminal justice system is treating her teenage son because it's not being harsh enough with him. This nigga should be put to death, right? This is so crazy because that's how you know the black woman, she has no balance. She has no balance, right? Some of these Israelite young men, they're in these streets running wild, and when they get put to death, everyone is in uproar. But then they don't do anything about their sons. They don't rear them up properly, right? They don't nurture them the way they're supposed to nurture them. They don't correct them. They don't punish them when they're supposed to punish them. All of these things that these most of these children, these young men and women are doing is the lack of punishment, right? Because this place tells you can't hit your child, right? It's abuse and all that fuckery, right? But the scripture says differently. Tiffany Hummins said her 17-year-old son has stolen multiple cars and crashed some of them, and that even when police catch him, they just bring him home to her. Yeah, because the next step is to put him to death. They know they put your son to death, right? They're gonna lose their job. They're gonna have lawsuits. He's 17. I'm sure this young man is short or whatever, right? He's still little. I doubt that he's grown as in tall over 6 feet or whatever. That's how Jake be growing, right? 17, 18, you think he's 25, right? And there are people who's sending him to do these things, right? Because they know, once he's a certain age, he won't get arrested, and that they can't really do anything other than put him in a juvenile facility. Do they even have those? I've been begging and pleading, please arrest him, lock him up, do something. That's going to make him pay for the things that he's out here doing, Hammond told WBNS. Where's the father at? Where's the father at, though? Right? Where's your husband? In addition to the theft and property damage, Hammonds said her son doesn't even have a driver's license. Columbus, a city of about 900,000 residents, has seen thousands of car thefts already this year. So many that officials have asked parents to step up and keep a better eye on their children. You see, so it comes back to you. You the nurturer, the mom, the father, right? But these women, they don't do shit to their sons. They treat them like their husbands, and now when they get out of hand, they want the police to do something about it. The only thing the police are going to do is put a bullet in his ass. Their children, in effort to combat. This woman knows I don't celebrate Thanksgiving, but she's still telling me Thanksgiving. Effort to combat the crime. We're trying, but once they're here, they leave again. Then what? Hammond said in response, "What are we supposed to do?" Well, it's too late now for you. Kick his ass out the house, man. Do something, bitch. Right? Hammond said it's the city that needs to step up. You see, the black woman is nothing but a demon. How does the city need to step up? You're supposed to step up and be a mother, be a good role model for your son, but you can't because you need a husband in the house, and I doubt that you don't have one. Not only for her son's sake, but to protect the people he endangers with his criminal behavior. So the next thing is to put this little nigga to death, man. Since he left, that I know of, he crashed 5 cars, she told WBNS. And I reported each and every one that I know of, and he's still out there. I've done almost everything I could, and it's turning him against me. So who gives a shit? He's going the opposite way and doing what he wants to do. It's time to put him out, right? Which is turning to the streets, right? They still can't let go. I think him seeing that nothing is being done is giving him more of an adrenaline rush to go back out and do it again, Hammond said. In the first 8 months of 2023, WBNS reported 7,330 cars have been reported stolen in Columbus, Ohio, with just over half of these being Kias and Hyundais and Hyundais. But that's her right here, right? That's her. But you can read the rest. An unruly son. Right to the law. Let's go right to the law. Deuteronomy 21 and 18. If a man, right, or woman, but we'll go with the man because the father is the progenitor. And the scripture says the man. But in this time, a woman, right? If a man have a stubborn and rebellious son, which will not obey the voice of his father or the voice of his mother, and that when they have chastened him, so he's been punished multiple times, right? Will not hearken unto them. This nigga has a demon on him. Then shall his father and his mother lay hold on him, right? And bring him out unto the elders of his city. Another thing we don't have are gates or language. We have no rulership. And unto the gate of his place, and they shall say unto the elders of his city, this our son is stubborn and rebellious. He will not obey our voice. He is a glutton and a drunkard, in this case a thief. And all men of his city shall stone him with stones, that he die. So shall thou put away evil from among you, and all Israel shall hear and fear. So it's all about fear, right? That's how you get respect amongst the next generation to come. If my son see if being rebellious leads to death, or your daughter sees that, what do you think they're going to do? They're going to get in line, man, right? They're going to get in line And these laws need to be brought back. But we know Esau, Edom is not going to bring them back. They rather have they rather have your name tarnished, right? They rather have you looking like a fool in these streets, right? They rather have your children being out of hand and rude, right? Disrespectful, turning into murderers and killers, right? He's going to end up and fucking run somebody over, man. Right? Wild bulls. Wild bulls at the head of the streets. Let's go into Isaiah. Right? Isaiah 51 and 20. Thy sons have fainted. They lie at the head of all the streets as a wild bull in the net. They are full of the fury of the Lord, the rebuke of thy power. Right? So they're wild bulls, man. How are you going to tame a wild bull? Right? And thy power that pleaded the cause of his people, behold, I have taken out thine hand that cup of trembling, even the dregs of the cup of my fury. Thou shalt no more drink it again. And that all this will come in the kingdom, but I will put into the hand of them that afflict thee, right? Which have said to thy soul, bow down, that we may go over, and thou hast laid thy body as the ground, and as the street to them that went over, right? All of this are all the rebelliousness that our sons and daughters are acting a fool with now. They're going to be put to death on this side, and they're going to come back in the kingdom. That's how 2/3 is going to be cleansed, right? This is Sirach 30, I think 31. Let's see if it's 30. Yeah, it's Sirach 30. And it says, he that loveth his son causeth him off to feel the rod, that he may have joy of him in the end. He that chasteneth his son shall have joy in him, and shall rejoice of him among his acquaintance. So if you put your son under the rod, he goes off, you have to always have him in a straight way, right? That's what a law is for. And that's what you as a parent, your law goes, right? Doesn't matter what these people in the society says. If you love your son, you will chasten him, or your daughter, you will chasten her, or else you end up like that little nigga, man. Stealing cars, being a hoe, shooting, drug dealer, right? Gang member, thief, dishonest, disloyal. He's going to be so-called loyal to the wrong things. He's going to be loyal to gangbangers, man. Right? Being street, being hood. He that teacheth his son grieveth the enemy, and before his friends he shall rejoice of him. So that's the reason why Esau wants your children. That's why they keep bringing him back home, because they don't want you to grieve your enemy. They want your enemy, which is them, to just laugh at you and watch your son being a degenerate, right? If you, as a parent, go and take up that law that in Deuteronomy 21, guess what's going to happen to you? You're going to be labeled a murderer, right? So they'd rather you suffer the embarrassment, or the police put this little nigga to death, right? Then you do the thing which is right, right? You can't even, in this society, the children are not even yours, right? Though his father die, yet he is as though he were not dead. So you're supposed to leave one in your stead. For he hath left one behind like unto himself. While he lived, he saw and rejoiced in him. And when he died, he was not sorrowful, right? He left behind him an avenger against his enemies, and one that shall disquiet kindness to his friends. He that maketh too much of his son shall bind up his wounds, and his bowels will be troubled at every cry, right? So you can't love your son to the point where you hate him. When I say hate him, by you not executing judgment on him when he goes off, okay? A horse not broken, becometh headstrong. That's what this little nigga, he wasn't broken. When a child comes, you're supposed to break him and rear him back up, man, in the right way. That's what the Navy does. When you go into the Navy, they break you and they pretty much rear you up the way that they want you. They want your mind to be a certain way. So that's how you have to do with your sons and your daughters. The scriptures is telling you that right now. A horse that is not broken is a wild horse. He becomes headstrong, and that's our children. Conquer thy child, and he shall make thee afraid. Right? How many children, how many mothers and fathers are afraid of their children out here? A lot of them, man. Play with him, and he will bring thee to heaviness. All of these children that you see out here are bringing their parents to heaviness. Right? You see over here in Toronto, it's the same thing, man. Right? These young 20-something-year-olds, they don't have any 25 and 26 used to be one of them things that, you're a grown person, you know how to deal with a child, but now the 20-something-year-old now, their mindset is like a 16-year-old, man. Right? So that passed on and gets worse and worse every generation. Laugh not with him, lest thou have sorrow with him, and lest thou gnash thy teeth in the end. Give him no liberty in his youth, and wink not at his follies. Bow down his neck while he is young, and beat him on the sides while he is a child, lest he wax stubborn and be disobedient unto thee, and so bring sorrow in thine heart. And that woman didn't do that. At one point, she had the chance to do that, but guess what happens after that? He turns 14. He turns 12. He turns 15. Now here he is. That's where the father comes in, right? And set this nigga down, man. Whoop his ass. But there's no father in that house, as you can see. Chaste thy son and hold him to labor, lest his lewd behavior be an offense unto thee. Right? So that's it for that. Let me get one more. Nah. Okay, let me get one more scripture. Train up a child. Let's go to Proverbs. This is Proverbs 22:6, and it says, train up a child in a way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. Shalom.